हेलो स्टूडेंट्स, आज के लेक्चर में मैं डॉक्टर श्रीमती सीमा नेगी, सहायक प्राध्यापक रसायन शास्त्र, शासकीय जेएमपी महाविद्यालय तखतपुर, न्यूक्लियोफाइल्स पर अपना लेक्चर देना चाहती हूँ। न्यूक्लियोफाइल्स विभिन्न रासायनिक अभिक्रियाओं में प्रयुक्त होने वाले इंटरमीडिएट्स हैं। Nucleophiles are also produced by the heterolytic fission of a covalent bond. एक कोवलेंट बॉन्ड जब हेटेरोलाइटिक फिशन विषमान विखंडन के द्वारा वियोजित होता है तब जाकर न्यूक्लियोफाइल का निर्माण होता है। उदाहरण के लिए HNO2 का आयनाइजेशन से H पॉजिटिव तथा NO2 माइनस आयन मिलते हैं। नाइट्रो नेगेटिवली चार्ज आयन्स are working here as nucleophile. Similarly, silver cyanide compound. This compound also ionizes and gives you Ag positive plus Cn minus. The negatively charged unit of this covalent bond, that is cyanide minus ion, is a nucleophile. Nucleophiles are negatively charged units. They have certain properties such as they are nucleus loving. Secondly, they are electron rich. Thirdly, they are electron pair donor. And fourth point is may be negatively charged or neutral in nature. Fifth point is these are always Lewis bases. So these are the properties. First, they are nucleus loving, electron rich, electron pair donor, negatively charged or neutral, and maybe Lewis bases. There are certain categories in which we can divide these nucleophiles. For example, there are some nucleophiles which are negatively charged, such as H minus hydride anion, alkyl anion, halogen anion, OH minus anion, RO minus anion. You have seen this as intermediate during various reactions. Out of this example, the cyanide minus ion and azide minus ion as well as CH2 and double bond and negatively charged ion is somewhat useful also when formed during the reaction. Second is neutral nucleophiles. These are such nucleophiles which are neutral in nature. And well-known examples are ammonia and its derivative ammonia monoalkyl, dialkyl ammonia and trialkyl ammonia. All of these are having a lone pair electron on the nitrogen atom, thus they will work as the neutral nucleophile. Similarly, water molecule, water and its substituted derivatives such as water, alcohol, dialkyl, ether. These are some of the examples in which oxygen possesses lone pair of electron, hence it is nucleophile. Phosphine and silver cyanide in the covalent state. For example, there are certain class of inorganic compound which possesses covalent bond. They also have the ability to work as covalent bond containing compound, but they will ionize and produce negatively charged ions that will also work as nucleophile. Third point is pi electron donors. We know that pi electrons are present in unsaturated compounds, for example alkenes and alkynes. Out of these, alkenes are nucleophile. They work as a good nucleophile because presence of the pi electrons in them. You have seen these two examples. Ethylene is there and butadiene is there, which is possessing two pi bonds, and thus because of the presence of the pi bonds which are possessing electrons, so they are good nucleophile due to presence of this pi bond. But in case of alkenes are somewhat different. These are not good nucleophile. Why they are not good nucleophile? Though they have two pi bonds, even then they are not good nucleophile because they cannot work as without activator. So they cannot work without activator. This is the point that I am going to make you clear, that certain metal atoms are required to react with them, and then they can show their nucleophile properties. For example, and another point, their electronegativity is high on the carbon atom. Because their electronegativity is very high on the carbon atom, that's why electron density increases on the carbon atom, and thus it is very much impossible for them to liberate lone pair of electron for this reaction to show their nucleophile properties. In place of it, it has started showing acidic properties due to high electron density. The nature of this compound is changed. But when we use metal atoms such as sodium, copper, silver, platinum, etc., then they replace this hydrogen atom, and then this compound will become able to get ionized into nucleophile, and thus they start nucleophilic reactions. We are coming to the another point, that is nucleophilicity and basicity. First of all, we should know what is nucleophilicity. Nucleophilicity is the ability of the negatively charged ion to attract positive charge. How readily it reacts with positive center. That is nucleophilicity, its ability to react with positively charged ion. While what is basicity? Basicity is that how much they are able to react or to abstract a proton from a compound. So there is basic difference. Nucleophile will react and form a bond readily, while bases will work, these bases will work, and they have to work as Bronsted bases because they will abstract a proton from any other compound. For example, ethyl alcohol, it is ionizing and giving you C2H5O minus, that is Bronsted base, and 1 H positive, that is Bronsted acid. This is conjugated acid base theory. Every compound has its conjugated base, and conjugated base and acid have the difference of the proton only. So this is the only difference. Their reaction is mainly based on their ability to react with the proton or to abstract the proton from the other source. So basicity is totally different. It is not concerned with any other reaction, while the nucleophile will react at the positive center and form the bond. Second point is nucleophilicity is a kinetic property. As kinetic property means their rate of reaction, we can determine, we can calculate, we can do experiments. Whether basicity is a thermodynamic property. When a compound is showing its basic properties, it is temperature dependent. Sometimes temperature becomes high, sometimes temperature becomes less. For example, takes a very little example, that sodium oxide, when dissolved in water, it produces sodium hydroxide reaction. Sodium hydroxide is formed and the solution becomes warm. So thermodynamic properties means they are related to the temperature, and thus nucleophiles or nucleophilicity is kinetic property. Reaction may be fast or slow, we can determine its rate of reaction, while in case of the basicity, that is a thermodynamic property and it is related to the temperature. Our next point is factors affecting nucleophilicity. What are those factors that will affect the nucleophilicity of the negatively charged ion? First point is charge. Negatively charged species are more nucleophile than neutral units. Neutral units will be nucleophile, but they are not much nucleophile, while negatively charged are best nucleophile. For example, OH minus, if you compare, the water is giving OH minus ion, so it is a nucleophilic unit, and similarly RSH ionizes and give RS minus ion, it is also a nucleophilic unit. And come to the another and well known example, that is the ammonia, that readily gives a amide ion NH2 minus ion as nucleophile, and H2S also ionizes and gives you two type of nucleophile. First is HS minus ion and S with two negative ions. What is the relation between the negative nucleophilicity of this reaction? You will see, as the size of the central atom increases, so the negative charge get spread because the size is increased, so charge density decreases, so the nucleophilicity also decreases. This is the most important. As the size of the atom increases, nucleophilicity also decreases because of the charge distribution on the bigger atom. In moving the periodic table from left to right, number of electrons increases, so the nucleophilicity of the atom also increases. From left to right, the group of the element changes, and thus the number of electron also changes, and we will see that the basicity is decreased but nucleophilicity is increased. For example, the case methyl anion, then amino anion, then OH minus anion and fluoride minus anion. So the carbon atom is in the fourth group, nitrogen in the fifth, oxygen in the sixth, and fluoro atom is in the seventh group. We have seen that group is changed from the fourth to the seventh. Electron number increased, charge density decreased, because as you have seen, as far as the number of electrons are increasing in the same orbit, so you will find that their nucleophilicity is increasing in this case. This is the first case. Nucleophilicity increasing. So if there is comparison and we are asked which will be more nucleophile, amino group or fluoro, our answer will be very clear that fluoro will be the more nucleophile. It will readily react with the positive center. But in case of ammonia, water and HF, these are the three compounds which are neutral in nature. Ammonia is basic in nature, water is neutral, acidic as well as basic depending, and hydrofluoric acid is totally acidic in nature. So coming from the above point, it is clear that as the size of the central atom increases, the basic property decreases. Basic property decreases. Ammonia is basic in nature, while HF is acidic in nature. Third point is on moving from up to down in a group. Charge density decreases because when we are going up to down, then new shells will be created and the atomic number is also increasing, so the charge density on them decreases. And as the size decreases, their basicity also decreases. For example, in the case of the seventh group, fluoro, chloro, bromo and iodo. Fluoro is the smallest in size and possesses a negative charge. Fluoride anion. Chloride anion is greater in size. Due to charge distribution, its nucleophilicity is less than that of the fluoride anion, while the bromide anion also works, but its nucleophilicity is further less. And whatever in the case of the iodo size is the largest, so its nucleophilicity is least because of the charge distribution on the greater size of the iodide anion. So it is mostly clear that smaller the size, charge density is higher and most nucleophile. Greater the size, least nucleophile. Similar thing applies to the certain other example, such as whenever there is comparison between OH minus and SH minus, SH will be of less because of its large size, and so the charge density decreased and it will become less nucleophile. This will be helpful for the objective questions. Effect of solvent on the nucleophiles. We know well that these covalent bond compounds will ionize in a particular manner when the solvent is used. And we also know that there is a rule known as Poisson's rule that is made for showing inorganic covalent bonds between two different atoms where there is covalent bond. This covalent bond ionizes and it has the ability to ionize in particular percentage. According to Poisson's rule, bigger anions are able to form better covalent bond. As बड़े आकार के जो ऋण आवेशित आयन है वो बढ़िया कोवलेंट बॉन्ड बनाते हैं, और किंतु इनकी न्यूक्लियोफिलिसिटी कम हो जाती है. अर्थात फ्लोरो क्लोरो ब्रोमो आयोडो में आयोडो का साइन जो आकार है वह सबसे बड़ा है, तो इसका आकार बड़ा होने की वजह से इसके अंदर न्यूक्लियोफिलिसिटी सबसे कम हो जाती है. यहाँ पर हम देखेंगे कि जो सॉल्वेंट है हमारे पास, means we have solvents, but these solvents are of two types. First is protic, other is aprotic. Protic solvents are such solvents which have proton with them, but aprotic solvents are such solvents which do not have protons, or they cannot give H positive ions on dissolving. So these protic solvents will dissolve these nucleophiles in a different manner, while the aprotic solvent will dissolve these anions in a different manner. First is the case where the protic solvents are going to dissolve. Protic solvents are water and ethyl alcohol. These protic solvents have the ability to dissolve or solvate smaller anions. छोटे छोटे आयंस को ये बड़ी आसानी से डिसॉल्व कर लेते हैं in comparison of bigger ions. So they will dissolve fluoride minus ion. Chloride also get dissolved an ion very readily, while Br minus ion will dissolve up to some level, while in case of the iodide it cannot dissolve the anion in the polar solvent. Then the same thing is applied when the central atom size increases. The bigger ions will always be, it may be neutral, it may be not neutral, then also the condition will remain same. Bigger ion will not be solvated in the solvent. उनको वे नहीं घुलेंगे और उनका आयनीकरण नहीं होगा ज्यादा मात्रा में. जबकि पोलर सॉल्वेंट जो हमारे पास हैं, जो कि एप्रोटिक सॉल्वेंट्स हैं, उनके अंदर कुछ हद तक वे अभिक्रियाएं जो प्रोटिक सॉल्वेंट में नहीं की जा सकती, वे सब अभिक्रियाएं एप्रोटिक सॉल्वेंट में की जा सकती हैं. क्योंकि एप्रोटिक सॉल्वेंट्स सच एज डाइमेथिल फॉर्मामाइड, स्ट्रक्चर आपके सामने है, Hc डबल बॉन्ड O and Me2. These are due to electromagnetic electron shifting. Nitrogen gets positively charged and oxygen gets negatively charged. Their working will be same as in the case of the water, but because they are aprotic, they are not going to give proton in the solution. So this will work in a different manner, and here the organic molecule of this compound that will dissolve the bigger anions. Bigger anions such as iodide etc. if we use, that can be dissolved and that can produce nucleophile in these aprotic solvents very well. Another example is dimethyl acetamide. This is also the aprotic solvent. It is not able to give a proton. Dimethyl sulfoxide, this is also the aprotic solvent, useful for the bigger ions. And if we are going to react bigger ions in chemical reaction, crown ethers, they are also the bigger molecule, they are symmetrical in nature, they are polyethers and they are cyclics, but they cannot solvate anions. They can dissolve or solvate smaller anions only. So this will be better nucleophile. Size of the side group. Suppose there is one anion, that is the methoxide anion, and its methyl derivative means ethoxide anion, dimethyl methoxide anion and trimethyl ethoxide. In a simple way we can say primary substitution, secondary anion, and third is tertiary substituted anion. If we compare, we will find that as the number of the methyl group increases on the carbon atom, its basicity increases due to its plus I effect, while nucleophilicity works in the opposite direction. Trimethyl ethoxide, trimethyl compound or the tertiary methyl group compound will not work as nucleophile. Its nucleophilicity will be least. But if you will see in the primary nucleophile, here ethoxide anion, its nucleophilicity will be higher. So there is question how the basicity and nucleophilicity are related. Bases has to do one work. They have to abstract a proton. While nucleophile have to work, they have to react and form a bond. This is the most important point that should be made clear. Hence, they are basicity and nucleophilicity are opposite in nature, and we can say that primary or the smaller size anions will be more helpful for the nucleophilic reaction. There are various reactions where the nucleophile reacts. For example, the nucleophilic substitution reactions in the case of the alkyl halide chapter, then you will find that the positively charged carbonium ion react with the nucleophile and forms the substituted product. And there you have studied this reaction is in this reaction positively charged unit reacts with the negatively charged nucleophile which is provided in during the reaction. This reaction will be of two types. It can either be combination or it can either be elimination reaction. Combination reaction means reactants are reacting together and forming bond. This is the nucleophilicity dependent reaction. Greater the nucleophilicity, stronger the bond, and thus the substitution product will result. But if there is another possibility, that is the elimination reaction in presence of nucleophile. This nucleophile, they have the ability to abstract a proton and result in the formation of elimination of smaller molecules and formation of a double bond compound. This is the basicity dependent reaction. So with the nucleophiles there is possibility of two type of reaction, either combination reaction, that is nucleophilic substitution reaction, and another is elimination reaction. There the elimination of the small molecule takes place. So this we will see how these combination reaction and elimination reactions are temperature dependent with the nucleophiles. At high temperature elimination reactions are preferred in tertiary nucleophile. If the temperature is very high, then elimination reaction is preferred in the tertiary nucleophile. So these reactions are temperature dependent also, and which that will be helpful in studying the elimination reaction known as Hofmann elimination reaction in case of tertiary amine reaction.